Hey, how you doing? This is Kim Reads Urantia. Okay, we're going to read from the Urantia book. First, we got Light the Flame by Andrew Harvey. Today's an interesting one. It's it's a movie quote about the movie JFK by Oliver Stone, and this is a line said by a character, a real person. In that movie. I don't know if he said this in real life, but in the movie he said this. This is Jim Garrison, who is the attorney who investigated the murder of John F. Kennedy. And bless you.
Thank you.
And who came up or was primarily responsible for developing the conspiracy theory around this, the cover up, investigated the cover up and all this. A guy named Jim Garrison, attorney from New Orleans. He says, "Let justice be done, though the heavens fall." Okay, so that means that, in this case, the heaven that he's talking about would be like the illusion of security, the illusion that everything is okay, that everything is we can just go on, keep on going the way we're doing, and it's okay. So it's about uncovering the truth, seeing things as they are, seeing past the facade, even though that's something that's hard to look at. Seeing who we really are in all ways, seeing what's real. Although the heavens fall, let it be done. Let justice carry forward. Okay, so all right, that's a tall order. The very simply, adroitly said. Okay, we are going to read the Urantia book paper. We're on paper 19, the Inspired Trinity Spirits. These are interesting little beings, mysterious. What comes to my mind when I read about the Inspired Trinity Spirits is fairies. I don't know. Little beings just kind of working on little things and just kind of aligning the whatever it is, and like little pixies, fairies. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to read to you Inspired Trinity Spirits. I will be able to tell you very little concerning the inspired Trinity Spirits, for they are one of the few wholly secret orders of beings in existence. Secret, no doubt, because it is impossible for them fully to reveal themselves, even to those of us whose origin is so near the source of their creation. They come into being by the act of the Paradise Trinity and may be utilized by any one or two of the deities as well as by all three. We do not know whether these spirits are of completed numbers or are constantly increasing, but we incline to the belief that their number is not fixed. Okay, so what's interesting to me in this paragraph here is it says that it is impossible for them fully to reveal themselves, even to those of us, even to those who are close, come from close to their origin. So what would it be like to be unable to fully reveal yourself. Right? So you're not able to. Would you want to? I don't know. That's interesting. So they're kind of always fluttering in and out of existence, or partially, their presence can be indicated, but not really fully revealed. Really fascinating beings. We fully understand neither the nature nor the conduct of the inspired spirits. They may possibly belong to the category of superpersonal spirits. They seem to operate over all known circuits and appear to act well nigh independently of time and space, like fairies. But we know little about them except as we deduce their character from the nature of their activities, the results of which we certainly observe here and there in the universes. Under certain conditions, these inspired spirits can individualize themselves sufficiently for recognition by beings of Trinity origin. I have seen them, but it would never be possible for the lower orders of celestial beings to recognize one of them. So this writer, who wrote this, Perfecter of Wisdom, I think. Let me see. Who wrote this paper? I'm going to find it. Okay. Divine Counselor. Divine Counselor wrote this paper. Okay, so I have seen them, but it would never be possible for the lower orders of celestial beings to recognize one of them. They can individualize themselves sufficiently for recognition by beings of Trinity origin. They can if they want. Okay, certain circumstances also arise from time to time in the conduct of the evolving universes in which any being of Trinity origin may directly employ these spirits in the furtherance of his assignments. So they're utilized by these higher beings, like, to go and establish certain objectives. Yeah, we therefore know that they exist, and that under certain conditions, we may command and receive their assistance, sometimes recognize their presence, but they are not a part of the manifest and definitely revealed organization entrusted with the conduct of the time-space universes before such material creations are settled in light and life. Okay, so they're present, but they're not part of the manifest and revealed organization entrusted with the conduct of the time-space universes. Okay, so they can be like before, they're not around before a place is settled in light and life. So I don't know if they're around here. Okay, under only certain content, they are not a part of the manifest and definitely revealed organization entrusted with the conduct of the time-space universes before such material creations are settled in light and life. They have no clearly discernible place in the present economy or administration of the evolving 7 super universes. So they're not around here. they're like, okay, darn, I would like to, but they're I don't know. Okay. They are a secret of the Paradise Trinity. The Melchizedeks of Nebadon teach that inspired Trinity spirits are destined sometime in the eternal future to function in the places of the solitary messengers, whose ranks are slowly but certainly being depleted by their assignment as associates of certain types of trinitized sons. Okay, so that's another class of being, solitary messengers. There's so many of these classes of beings. You could make a lifetime of study just this book. Well, pardon me, but the Bible isn't nearly as impressive, and people make lifetimes of studying that. I don't know. The Bible's okay. I don't want to knock the Bible. It's all right. This is huger. The inspired spirits are the solitary spirits of the universe of universes. Okay? As spirits, they are very much like the solitary messengers, except that the latter are distinct personalities. Okay? We obtain much of our knowledge of the inspired spirits from the solitary messengers, who detect their nearness by virtue of an inherent sensitivity to the presence of the inspired spirits, which functions just as unfailingly as a magnetic needle points to a magnetic pole. When a solitary messenger is near an inspired Trinity spirit, he lights up just like a little firebug. No. When a solitary messenger is near an inspired Trinity spirit, he is conscious of a qualitative indication of such a divine presence, and also of a very definite quantitative registration, which enables him actually to know the classification or number of the spirit presence or presences. Okay, so the solitary messenger can tell, okay, oh yeah, little Tommy is here, the inspired Trinity spirit, and yep. Okay. Or they know. Solitary messenger will know. I may relate a further interesting fact. When a solitary messenger is on a planet whose inhabitants are indwelt by thought adjusters, as on Urantia, he is aware of a qualitative excitation in his detection sensitivity to spirit presence. In such instances, there is no quantitative excitation, only a qualitative agitation. When on a planet to which adjusters do not come, contact with the natives does not produce any such reaction. Okay, so when a solitary messenger is on, like Urantia, he's aware of a qualitative excitation in his detection sensitivity to spirit presence. So these solitary messengers are here with us, and they can detect here who's got a thought adjuster and who doesn't. They know that. Right. When on a planet to which adjusters do not come, contact with the natives does not produce any such reaction. This suggests that thought adjusters are in some manner related to or are connected with the inspired spirits of the Paradise Trinity. Okay, a correlation, not a clear relationship. In some way, they may possibly be associated in certain phases of their work, but we do not really know. They both originate near the center and source of all things, but they are not the same order of being. Thought adjusters spring from the Father alone. Inspired spirits are the offspring of the Paradise Trinity. Okay. The inspired spirits do not apparently belong to the evolutionary scheme of the individual planets or universes, and yet they seem to be almost everywhere. Maybe they are here, they're just not, they're almost everywhere, right? It says almost everywhere, but they're not really part of our planning process, but they can kind of come and go all over. They don't reveal themselves here. Okay, they are a secret. Okay, all right. The inspired Trinity, even as I am engaged in the formulation of this statement, my associated solitary messenger's personal sensitivity to the presence of this order of spirit indicates that there is with us at this very moment, not over 25 feet away, a spirit of the inspired order and of the third volume of Power Presence. The third volume of Power Presence suggests to us the probability that 3 inspired spirits are functioning in liaison. So even when I'm writing this here, my solitary messenger is indicating that there's some of those over there, little gang of 3 just hanging out in the corner, right? Of more than 12 orders of beings associated with me at this time, the solitary messenger is the only one aware of the presence of these mysterious entities of the Trinity. And further, while we are thus apprised of the nearness of these divine spirits, we are all equally ignorant of their mission. We really do not know whether they are merely interested observers of our doings or whether they are, in some manner unknown to us, actually contributing to the success of our undertaking. Okay, they might be just, adding some little spark of inspiration. Well, they are inspired, aren't they? We are ignorant of their mission. What are they doing here? Maybe they're just hanging out. Maybe they can go like wherever they want and just hang out all over, just kind of where whatever interests them. But then, when they go to work, they have to be organized in some fashion, and because they're responsive to some kind of like thing going on, right? Because they can be utilized for specific things. Okay. We know that the Trinity teacher sons are devoted to the conscious enlightenment of universe creatures. Wait, I think I skipped. I'm going to go back here. We are, yep. Okay, I'm going to go back to the previous paragraph. And further, while we are thus apprised of their nearness, of the nearness of these divine spirits, we're all equally ignorant of their mission. We really do not know whether they are merely interested observers in our doings, whether they are in some manner unknown to us actually. Yeah, right. I did already read that. Okay. We know that the Trinity teacher sons are devoted to the conscious enlightenment of universe creatures. I have arrived at the settled conclusion that the inspired Trinity spirits, by superconscious techniques, are also functioning as teachers of the realms. I am persuaded that there is a vast body of essential spiritual knowledge, truth, indispensable to high spiritual attainment, which cannot be consciously received. Right. Self-consciousness would effectively jeopardize the certainty of reception. Right. So this is where you have to control that mind that's like kind of like the guardian at the gate, and like not letting anything in here that doesn't belong in my mind, and just kind of let things flow, invite yeah, I do this a lot. I'm really defensive when it comes to the integrity of my mind. And I think we have good reason to be that. Mm, but these some things you have to just allow. You have to relax your defenses when you're alone by yourself. You're in the presence of um, the holy beings, and you just have to let that energy come in and work on you. Super conscious techniques. Self-consciousness would effectively jeopardize the certainty of reception. If we are right in this concept, and my entire order of being shares it, it may be the mission of these inspired spirits to overcome this difficulty, to bridge this gap in the universal scheme of moral enlightenment and spiritual advancement. We think that these two types of Trinity origin teachers effect some kind of liaison in their activities, but we do not really know. On the super universe training worlds and on the eternal circuits of Habona, I have fraternized with the perfecting mortals, spiritualized and ascendant souls from the evolutionary realms, but never have they been aware of the inspired spirits, which ever and anon the powers of detection resident in the solitary messengers would indicate were very near us. I have freely conversed with all orders of the sons of God, high and low, and they likewise are unconscious of the admonitions of the inspired Trinity spirits. Right. They can and do look back in their experiences and recount happenings which are difficult to explain if the action of such spirits is not taken into account. But accepting solitary messengers and sometimes Trinity origin beings, none of the celestial family ever been conscious of the nearness of the inspired spirits. Yeah, I think these are little fairies, little pixies. I do not believe the inspired Trinity spirits are playing hide and seek with me. I don't believe they're playing hide and seek. They are probably trying just as hard to disclose themselves to me as I am to communicate with them. Our difficulties and limitations must be mutual and inherent. I am satisfied that there are no arbitrary secrets in the universe. Therefore, will I never cease in my efforts to solve the mystery of the isolation of these spirits belonging to my order of creation. Wow. Okay, so this divine counselor is on a mission. God bless him. And from all this, you mortals, just now taking your first step on the eternal journey, we can well see that you must advance a long way before you will progress by sight and material assurance. You will long use faith and be dependent on revelation if you hope to progress quickly and safely. Okay, so it's a long time before we'll be able to rely on our own faculties in order to progress. You will use faith and be dependent on revelation. We try to rely on our own faculties. That's going to lead to failure because we're just not mature enough. Just don't. Oh, gosh, and who am I to say who's more advanced or less advanced? It's just there is auto revelation, but be cautious. Yeah. I mean, there's such a cost to overestimating yourself and your own abilities. There's such a cost to that. I think it's not worth it. Okay. All right. Well, I'll get there. Okay. I love these little buggers, these inspired Trinity spirits. I think that's so cool. All right. Okay. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.